Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Wantless. That's the name of this video game. I absolutely remember it, who says I don't? Where I have done a little bit of reconfiguring. You see we had a little bit more room under the cap. I was able to put Shield Bash on our Ramming Persecution Anguish Ranger, which is just a fucking rad name for a skill. Also Oppress, because we had it and it has 3 discipline weight. It costs nothing, so why not? Just throw stuff on people. I did go back and verify in the video footage. The Gust does not work with Flashing Arrow, even though it seems like it absolutely should, because Flashing Arrow doesn't target self, it targets a tile. Whatever, it doesn't work, it's fine. But then I was like, we have a little bit more room under the cap here, and I looked at some of the fusion recipes, and I was like, maybe we could improve the damage of one of our skills. We have a couple of extra strikes. Let's make strike 2s. Let's make a strike 3, because it turns out they only have discipline weight 5, which I could see from the recipe, and we can probably afford that, right? But check this out: the strike 3 that I made deals 64 to 97 damage. The strikes that we're already using already deal that much. For a lower discipline weight, this is almost exactly the same. Minimum range down by 1, maximum range up by 1. So I had a little bit of a look. I played with the controls here. You can see we can hit control to show the possible modifier pool, everything that it can generate, which is really interesting. But if we hold Alt, it shows the details of the modifiers we have on there. And this is where the answer is, I think. You'll notice this is a tier 3 of 3 damage effect with numbers basically at the exact, it's almost the perfect strike 2. Now, my understanding, my guess from what I'm seeing here, and you'll see why in a second, each effect is basically each effect has a couple of ranges that it can use. So you can get a tier, you can see this one here has a tier 2 damage range. And so it caps out at 60 to 90, despite the fact that this is an identical effect synapse. It is a strike 2 dealing fear damage. It's just, it has worse ranges because the damage effect generated at tier 2 instead of tier 3. I hate the fact that they are calling this tier, because they also use the word tier to refer to the rank of the effect. And so there's this recipe in here that fuses 2 identical synapses into one from the next tier, and it doesn't allow you to improve, it doesn't improve the tier of the effects, it just turns 2 strike 2s into a strike 3, which at the top of the tooltip you can see is tier 3 effect common. So they shouldn't have used the word tier for 2 different measurement systems within the same object. But so you can see here, this tier 3 effect common generated its damage effect at tier 1, and a tier 1 strike 3 damage range just is only very slightly better than a tier 3 strike 2's damage range. And I think these are just random. I think that this is just So here's what we're going to do. We have enough strikes to generate another strike 3. We're going to do this, and we're going to see if it comes out any better. I'm just curious if crafting stuff is always going to make it generate in the low tiers of its effectiveness or whatever. And check this out. We have a wall here with 3 different effects on it, right? The actual shield value, plus this bonus shielding power if affected by rhythmic, plus this bonus shielding power if affected by supercharge. And you can see that they don't necessarily all generate at the same tier. And coincidentally, none of them generated at the effect tier of this effect, which is just, I hate the language. I hate the language they've chosen for this. But yeah, so we're going to take these strikes, the 2 that are not equipped anywhere. We're going to fuse them into one from the next tier. You can see here, it shows you a preview of what you're going to get, but also there is just a big list of all of the recipes. There are a lot of them, and some of the names are not super helpful. If you combine two tier 2 duocyclings, you get a tier 3 tri-recurrence. What does that mean? I don't know. You can't mouse over it. There's no way to... You better already have a tri-recurrence so that you can tell what the fuck that's saying. In any case, let's go ahead and do this. It does cost a little bit of currency here, but we have plenty of shards. So, synthesize. Wait, is it not? There's a button right there that says fuse. That's probably the one to click. Okay, so we generated a strike 2 with its damage range in the tier 2 region. All right, now let's take the weakest of our fear strikes. So 2 of our fear strikes are tier 3s, both showing that same 60 to 65, 91 to 98. And then we have this one, which is just worse. This is the one that's in the totem. We'll reforge the totem in a second. So I would like to synthesize these into a new strike 3. Yep, the skills will probably be disassembled in this set. That's fine. Okay, and so we've generated a new strike 3. Aha, that came up as a tier 4, and it has values in the sort of the upper half of the ranges. That's pretty good. Okay, so let's go back to our forge. So yeah, there's a huge amount of variance. Look at this. You could generate a strike 3 as low as 62 to 94 or as high as 87 to 132. The worst strike 3 you can generate barely deals more damage at maximum than the minimum value of the best strike 3 you can generate. That's wild. The variance seems way too high. So it actually didn't disassemble the rod, even though it just took the effect out. That's really interesting. So I guess I'm gonna put the strike 3 in here, the kind of crummy one. Forge that up. And then it's looking to me like we might actually be over replacing both of these effects. Right, because if I do this, no, it's not too much of a change actually. But I'm pretty sure we want our highest damage effect on the Ranger, because the Ranger is usually able to land multiple shots. And as nice as it is to hit really hard with the snapping ghastly spider missile, I think this is going to land more often on the most consequential enemies. So let's go ahead and forge that up. Yeah, so I didn't mention it, but as y'all saw there, I did move the gust onto the rod so it can clear out corpses and stuff for us, and then it can do all the other things that we're used to. My hope is that the combination of the bulwark skill and the barrier from the rod should cause shield bash to actually hit fairly hard, right? It's 8%, it's bonus damage equal to 8% of your shield and barrier combined. Which, if they have the barrier up, the barrier is 630 damage protection. So it feels like it should be pretty significant. I don't know if there are 2 charges of barrier, I don't think it... On the tooltip, it would still show the same value, right? It would just say from the next 2 hits. Yeah, probably it won't double up. And then bonus damage to targets affected by poison. That's going to be a fair number of our targets. The one thing I would really like is we have this concentrate, and it would be kind of cool to slap this on the buckler, just to feed us a little bit of bonus affliction damage. But sadly, this does generate actually quite a lot of extra cost for not all that much benefit. So I think that's the thing that's going to be waiting. And with that, I think we're good. This is an empty skill now, isn't it? Didn't I take... Oh, no, we left the strike one that's in the fear spear. Okay, well, that's fine. All right, so we made some changes here. I'm pretty happy with it, I think. I don't think we want to change up any of our equipment. Don't need a deception cloak. Grounded and slow. What does grounded mean? No, alt is not the right thing here. Huh. Interesting that grounded is not in the glossary? That's weird. Anyway, I don't want to be slowed. It's not worth the bonus health. And the abandoned robe is still doing good stuff for us. I think we want to maintain damage. Just a two range punch has turned out to be really, really good for us. Do I want to put my +1 interaction range back on over the healing and shielding? Probably not. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. Let's just go ahead and bounce out of here. And by here, I mean this entire location. To the Misty Hamlet we go. Under colorless skies. So we're told it's dangerous down here, maybe in more than one way. I guess we'll find out. Where the fog grows thicker, a pile of bodies. Maybe I shouldn't have come back after all. Is it the courage to remain awake? Or just the fear of disappearing? Yeah, I definitely would say I have been in my past more motivated by the latter there than the former. Obviously, she's making reference to the thing that what's his name said to us. All right, dealer's got some new items for us, and yeah, we're gonna have to earn more reputation. That's fine. They just want us to do some gameplay. Ooh, that's interesting. This just cleanses stuff. This is a weird punch. I guess it's a 1 AP punch. Yeah, never mind. I was gonna say, like, why is the damage so bad? But it's because it's a 1 AP. It does give you plus 13% buff efficiency. That's pretty cool. I think we're gonna stick with our thing we have now, but I also think we're gonna buy this drain effect. I probably won't mess with it right now. We'll do some patience, gain some levels. You know, I'll reconfigure it, but like, I guess it really depends on whether the damage from a drain stacks cleanly with the damage from a strike. We know the game doesn't like multiple strikes on a skill, but we don't know how this plays in. So out of curiosity, okay, no, there's no such thing available for tokens. Let's go ahead and buy this. And then speaking of tokens, recuperates pretty whatever. Those are some pretty good hyper nutrients. Way better than the ones we have now. Adjacent's kind of whatever. Pretty decent strike 3. Probably won't bother paying for it. A bunch of 0 cooldowns. 14 discipline weight, of course, you know, as you might expect. It's hard for me to imagine, like, what is the value of a 7 cost 0 cooldown ability? You're not casting that more than once anyway. I guess the value is that it would be up every turn, right? I'm thinking of 0 cooldown as allowing you to cast multiple times per turn, but I think we might have been told that we're not allowed to do that with anything except punch. Maybe. Oh, we actually did just pick up a strictly superior glove. Out of curiosity. Yep, this stuff has the same like weird tearing effects. Okay, well, yeah, let's fix that up then. A little bit of extra value. All right, let's take on a patient. I think we're ready. Unless these patients all turn out to be like tier 5. All right, preserve 5 memories in Allaric Rainier's rotting nightmares. I can barely remember them now. I don't want it to fade away. Yeah, geez, that's grim. There's a lot of that stuff in my family, and it is definitely like the thing in the universe I am most afraid of. Increases affliction damage, but decreases hit damage resistance. Inflicts disarm for 1 turn when the effect wears out. Huh. That's kind of interesting. We'll probably take that as our reward. Everybody out here is a tier 3, not really like super surprising. Okay. A stacking debuff replaces stacking poison replaces your punch damage. That's kind of cool. Don't love that it's one range. Haste is pretty whatever. Enemies here are foul, which is something I don't remember what that means. Turn my blood into damage. Not really so exciting. Disarm does what disarm sounds like it would do. Theodore Reeves over here wants to be relieved of blight. Enemies resist most disables and explode on death with an intoxicate effect. I mean, that doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Ooh, inflicts hyper empathy. Damaging the target for 20 to 29% of health damage taken as fear damage. For health damage taken as fear damage. Right, it's not only working on damage that is fear typed. Plus 24% damage if there's no enemy adjacent to you. That's quite a large damage bonus for an effect that we often will be actually getting. Plus, the base payouts of this are very high. I think this might be the way to go. And Zenobia Monroe has a 4/5 Tetra Scattering. -1 AP cost if used while full. Full on HP. That's interesting. So in a lot of cases, it'll be a 3/5 with 10% bonus power for only 5 discipline weight. Yeah, that's fairly exciting. Although I guess a normal 3/5 is only 6 discipline. It's not really that much of a saving, I guess. I think we gotta do the Theodore thing. I want some hyper empathy. What a weird what a weird sentence. Alright, yeah. We can handle this, probably. Let's begin. We can probably handle this, maybe. And we've done several tier 3s at this point. I've upgraded our depth driver so you can explore even deeper inside your patient's mind. You know the drill. Deeper means more danger and better rewards. Up to you in the end. Okay, choosing Explore Deeper twice will lead you to Explore Depth 2. Explore Depth 2 rooms yield 2 insight. That is interesting. I mean, let's push a little bit at least, right? Do not punch for free for extra rewards. And there's a blight back there behind this thing. Toxic thoughts and ideas grow and mature with time if left to their own designs. Explodes on death. Yeah, no big surprise there. Also, a lesser envy. Hatred often takes a less direct, more insidious form. Self-centered worldviews can fuel silently hateful friendships and deeply resentful love. Yeah, they sure can. That's a mania breeder. It took years for you to finally get rid of that habit through no shortage of effort, willpower, and perseverance. Here's another one to keep you busy. Alright, so spawners and stuff, and what are you doing? You are giving everyone thorns. That shit sucks. That's real bad. You got some painful impulses, and a single memory of the cleansing type. Well, the good news is that means they won't be able to push us over the instability threshold. So this is a blight. There's 3 of them in this encounter. So we're actually going to be doing a fair amount of our objective work already. I think I'm going to step... I don't really want to drop the totem forward. I don't know. Let's start with stepping up to here. Let's see what happens. I'm going to end my turn. They're going to move around. My hope is that this one near the entrance is going to move away from me. Okay, didn't quite work out. So I could put down the Ramming Persecution Horror Ranger, but the fact is, I really want to establish the rod first, so that when they take their turn, the barrier gets put up and then the ranger uses it immediately rather than giving enemies time to peel it off. So maybe I step back to here and drop the rod. Like, yeah, that should work. All right, do a turn. Uh-oh. And that guy moved into exactly the position I was gonna put the ranger in. That's really annoying, actually. Well, the good news is he will now take damage from the rod. So we have a question. Do we want to throw down the ranger? Yeah, there's a lot of interesting ways we could do this. Because I could throw down the ranger, just buckler probably me and the ranger, don't bother with the totem, and then also use an attack. Like I could spider missile here, which is going to kill this thing. It's also going to deal damage to these enemies while they still have thorns on. But I definitely want to put down the ranger first. Except if I put the ranger down here, am I just getting him killed immediately? Maybe. Maybe the thing to do is to cast him over here. Because I just don't want him to explode, you know? But I guess everything in here is going to explode on death. We took that penalty. All right, you know what? I'll just put him right behind us. It's still close enough to get the barrier. A little bit of the old chestnut buckler harvest, if you know what I'm saying, and then a missile right here. Clear that guy out, and yeah, all right. I'm feeling okay about that outcome. So you got 6 AP, you have 8. I still have 4. I mean, these enemies have 7 and 8. It really doesn't make sense for me not to spend a little bit more. I would like to avoid using my punch. But also there's just not, like, there's not a lot else of value for me to do. This thing's dead already. To the totem's action. I think I do just pass. It feels weird not to make any use of essentially free AP, but I just don't, like, I don't have anything to do with them, and I don't want to move. I want to make sure I'm in position to get barriered. Interesting. I was really expecting that thing to attack. Alright, so remember, our summons are now gaining bonus AP every time anything dies as well. Some thoughts you abandoned, others you willingly stifled for fear of what they could become. A reject thought with high melee damage. Okay. Something to be wary of. Excellent shooting. Yeah, just a lot of really good work done there, actually. And for some reason that generated an additional memory. You had a memory. Well, I'm going to auto cleanse. So I think what I'll do is I'll teleport to here to avoid a lot of the traversal penalties. We're just going to scoop some stuff up, make sure that we remain okay. And I mean, I may as well grab this too, right? And then I think I just pass. Both of my summons are at max AP, but the enemies still have a lot to be desired here. Yeah, I think I just pass. Alright, you're just refreshing your barrier. Okay. Stockpile up another shot. Okay, well these things are dead to the totem, which is fantastic news. Yeah, the other big value of making sure the totem goes before the ranger is it prevents the ranger from wasting AP on things that the totem's going to kill anyway. So we just need to get, like, over here, fire the missile. And I do believe our totem is going to finish the job. Actually, maybe not. These things have a lot of HP. Hey, it's Inar! Hey, Carrick's got a point, doesn't he? You mean how transposers should be the first to crave terminal transposition? Yep. Well, I don't think neurosurgeons crave for brain transplant. Well, most drug dealers do drugs. If that's what we're doing, there really is no point. Well, what are we doing then? Helping people. Like that dude in Viscerged. Like Carrig. Like your boy? Shut your mouth, you useless afterthought. Okay, so we're starting to get a little bit of the pain behind the scenes, which has been, if not obvious, at least it's been sort of hinted at. I don't know that we really need the regen. We're doing really well on managing our health with all the barriers and shields. We probably don't need Tenacious either, but honestly, Determination might be useful. I do not particularly want to get pushed. Also, hey, look at that. Free stuff. Okay, so we can just continue exploring at depth 1. We can go deeper, or we can go back to the path. And this way does have 3 more blights. I mean, I feel like we gotta explore deeper, right? I don't really think this is up for debate. Okay. I mean, this ain't so different. Other enemies to gain hit damage up. Do we know how much by? Here it is. 50%. Okay, wow. And that one's giving regen. Well, I do feel like we have to care about this. This thought is, in fact, quite impactful. So I kind of want to put the totem down over here. Like I'll throw my missile out and break stuff on this side. So maybe what we want to do is like creep forward to here, totem in front, and then I back up and shoot out those. Do we have any memories laying around? We don't. Okay, so the enemies are not gonna like spike unstable us out of the brain or anything here. I think I'm gonna go to here this turn and do nothing else. Yeah, because those both cost 3. Okay, I think that that totem's gonna do some good work. Yeah, we'll get back to this later. I think I want to be standing right here when everything goes off. Yeah, I think so. All right, so I don't want to cast anything else right now. I suppose I can breath myself and it doesn't actually cost anything. Probably. Unless one of the enemies moves in such a way that we become revealed, in which case it will matter. Yeah, maybe it's best I don't. Although if I do, the bulwark gets, or the rod gets to bank a little bit. But we're going to spend everything on the next turn anyway. I'm just going to end turn. It's not really a super significant amount of regen, it seems like. Okay. You fucking asshole. What an extremely annoying thing for it to do. Okay, so I'm going to put the ranger down here. How far can I get with this flashing arrow? I could flashing arrow all the way out to here, which means I would be able to take care of this stuff this turn. And maybe we do that instead of applying the buckler harvest at all, and we just rely on the barrier to get us through this situation. Obviously, it means we don't have thorns, but I think it's reasonable. Surprise, everybody! Alright, so 6 and 8 already. Y'all are mostly full as it is. Sadly, I can't quite get back. I could take 2 steps, though, and at least let our ranger be at full. Which might even matter. And I guess one big benefit of taking the steps back here is that I do get the barrier this way as well. Do I want to step into the position? I'm a little worried that stepping over here is going to get me AoE'd somehow. I guess most of these things don't push. Yeah, alright, I'll just take the last step. Puts me in the best possible position for expending the shield. Alright, some pretty decent damage. It's interesting how rarely these things shoot. They spend a lot of time running around. Okay, stacking up the intoxicates, not a big deal. This is the scary part. Alright, so you throw out a flesh bond first, and then you don't leave yourself enough AP to attack. Weird. Okay, so this enemy has oppressed, and this is going to matter for like the first time. So specifically, he's oppressed by the ranger, so he takes damage whenever the ranger spends AP. How do I want to do this? How do we want to progress here? I guess it's like somebody's got to kill this thing. I can run over here and just punch that to death. I guess that's probably the play. And then all of my folks are at full. I mean, everybody's at full now, so... Is there a thing to do here that makes any kind of sense? I guess, like, get around this? Yeah, probably. Not paying anything for it at this point. Wow, even through the flesh bond. That's impressive. Okay, it is winding up an attack. I guess these things don't attack the... I didn't even look at their roster of abilities, but they simply don't attack the way the other enemy that looks like that does, which has caught me a little off guard. I can make it to... I'd really like to be able to blow something up with my missile since it's off cooldown, but it looks like that's maybe not in the cards for us this time. I mean, I can probably blow you up at the very least, and I suppose that's a thing to do. Actually, it likely won't even kill. Ow. I had to admit, I really thought my my ranger was going to finish the job there. Yeah, it hurts not having the shield up. I'm not used to not being shielded anymore. Do I want to... Well, I'm silenced, aren't I? This is actually like a huge problem. So you have one turn left. And I think that's a turn during which he will actually get to act. You're probably dead to just the poison. I don't know if I can kill this thing. Is a concern that I am currently having. I could run to here, punch you to death. I have 2 AP left. Like, I'm kind of thinking about trying to work in a flick. If I went 1-2, hit the repelling shock, I definitely won't have enough AP to get a kill here. I would love to buy the distance, but I just don't. I don't think we can avoid killing this thing. I think it's too important. Alright, so that leaves me with 4 AP, with which I will not be able to do that much. You're already at 8, so I may as well spend it all for movement again. Stockpiles 3 into 4 and then dies horribly immediately. Wow. It only takes 2 AP to do that, huh? The silence hurts. The silence is really doing a number on me. Like, we have to deal with this, right? But I just can't. I can probably kill you. And I probably should. And then just end it there, probably. Nothing's going to be in a super great position to challenge me. And then... Okay, the intoxicate's off. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I'll be able to put up the buckler. I'm kind of thinking of just doing my summons. I think I need the help. This is a tough fight, though. We are certainly not getting there for free. Okay, interesting. Interesting move. Alright, good thorns work there. The gust actually was really helpful. Alright, so this thing's probably dead already. We need to get to the Mania Breeder. The summons will handle you. So yeah, I do need to probably like heal myself. Trying to figure out what's appropriate here. I guess I could move 3. That gives these two a little bit of energy to work with. If I move 3, then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and missile to kill this guy with next turn. Yeah. Because I wanna get the barrier again, right? Do I attack a heal on as well? Right now, this guy can't move very far. I guess I made it impossible for my ranger to participate in the fight outside of shooting this guy. Alright, I'm going to do something a little more aggressive, actually. I want to give my ranger room, provided that the ranger kills in one hit. I want him to have room to run over here. Oh, right, we don't even have to... Sorry, we don't have to finish the fight. And there's no objective loot on the line. I forgot that we were here to do blights, not just win battles. No, let's get the hell out of here. I'm done. Thank you. That was a pleasant surprise that shouldn't have been a surprise. All right, so +1 patient reward. Oh, I guess winning the fight would have gotten us 2 insight. That would have been of some value. That said, the rewards from just clearing the mission are awfully good. So we're definitely taking the hyper empathy, and then like, we don't have enough damage type focus, I think, for something like this. And if we were going to take one of these, it would have to be a fear one, right? And then I kind of want to take another strike 3, honestly, so we can start thinking about building up to strike 4s and stuff. We obtained a shifting Ankh at some point in there, and a still catalyst, and yeah, pretty good overall. Pretty good indeed. Man, that pillar totem. Being able to have something that has a base 2 range, so that the +1 range that we're currently getting gives it just even more juice, this seems pretty good. Seems like it could, in fact, be pretty good for us. Alright, dealers brought new items. Okay, we got a whole 2 knowledge shards. Way to go, me. Ooh, a blue intoxicate. Wow, that's very expensive. Hold on. We might still buy it, honestly, but it is very expensive. Okay, plus 20% damage on targets affected by hyper empathy is an interesting thing to get right after we get the ability to afflict people with hyper empathy. That said, it is a lot of tokens. What's in the shards? Wow, trance with effect lasts 2 additional turns seems very, very interesting. -6% discipline cost. Like, a thing that gives minus percentage discipline cost while increasing the cost of your discipline significantly, or increasing the cost of the discipline cost of your skill significantly, is at least, you know, it's the percentage is going to be a large flat value. So that is kind of nice. I kind of want to buy... I know I'm like burning through our stuff really quickly here, but honestly, this seems pretty good. And we don't lose any damage output. We just lose damage resistance. Not that I could necessarily afford to apply an 11 discipline weight effect to anything. Yeah, I guess maybe that's what's going to keep me from buying it, is I just don't know where we would ever put it. I guess the same is true for this, but this is a powerful thing, and it's actually not very expensive. I'm going to take this. I'm going to leave the trance. It's just too expensive. And I kind of gotta think that this is worth it. 6K is a lot, but we just pulled like 6K off that last job. We're back to actually getting a fair number of tokens again. Yeah, let's take it. I'm building up for a lot of like theoretical futures here. So I think our next point is for sure just another level of training, as unexciting as that is. And then I think I'm not gonna mess with our stuff right now. Let's just jump back in and do another patient real quick, and then we'll, I'll fiddle with things between episodes or whatever. A better level of balance ship with more bonus discipline on it definitely is interesting, because we could totally afford to drop the, 15% shielding thing if we got enough discipline to apply another effect or something. Interesting. A 9% chance for fear hit damage to apply and oppress. Theodore Ward here has some interesting stuff. What is this? An apathy chip. 3,600 tokens. This is definitely worth noting. A pretty good pain punch. It's interesting that it deals pain damage, but it gives a chance for your grief damage to inflict stuff. Blood burst, wound. Dealing damage every time the target moves for 3 turns. I'm assuming that this will trigger... Well, it says the target moves a tile. I don't know if I think this will trigger on forced movement or not. Some games stuff like that does, some games it doesn't, And oppress a very fancy silence. -1 disable immunity duration, +1 minimum cooldown. Killing a target of this effect reduces all your skill cooldowns by 1. That's interesting. Huh. Why is that marked that way? Why is there a 1 in each? Our other totems don't show a thing like that in the squares, do they? Maybe they do. To be perfectly honest with you, though, looking at everything here, I'm a little bit inclined to go with Theodore just for the raw token output. The balance chip is, like, kind of interesting. This is, like, kind of interesting. Enemies inflict fragilize on hit. That probably doesn't matter. Yeah, I just want the tokens, honestly. What's the XP difference? Pretty significant as well. Yeah, alright. Let's knock one out real quick. Earn ourselves some trust in the area. And, also altruism or whatever. Abscise the patient's irresistible addiction. That does sound like a thing a person might want some help with. Okay, mimic room. Doesn't look like there's really a way to tell. I found it! A dark secret. Okay, do I just go big? Chew hurts. But if I'm shielded... Ooh, it deals pure damage. I think I am, in fact, just going to go big. I don't really want this exploding, so we're going to put you to this side. Okay, that's not so bad. Okay. So this thing has a lot of HP. No two ways about that. May as well heal. It's got you at 7, you at 7, you at 6. I mean, there's not really any compelling reason for me not to just, like, punch this thing until its face comes all the way off, right? Alright, this should be pretty ugly. Yeah, that ranger is hitting really hard. Okay, and the barrier is doing good work. Punch, 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 punch. I gotta say, I'm very pleased with how our setup is running so far. We'll take a little tranquility. So this one is probably actually treasure, right? It is. Okay, we got a haste. Further down, I suppose. I do love some insight. This is a busy room. Sleepiness as a temporary state isn't all that bad, but as a general trait, it can safeguard all sorts of other negative emotions or slow down their ablation. Haze Walker. That's interesting. And a broom. All roads lead to sorrow eventually. That's unless they evaporate part way. Why the roads in the first place? No roads, no destinations. No destinations, no expectations. No expectations, no sorrow. It's very clever. And that's really rad art. A doubt engine. Spend too long alone with your own needs and you'll feel them cobbling up. Unsolvable problems, elusive enough for you to question your sanity. Real enough to drive paralysis. High damage and teleporting. Okay, that's a little worrying. Okay, so you have some kind of effect called dual beam. Don't know what that does. Everybody's trailing foul ground and also becoming silenced, causing allies to become silenced. Oh, it means me. Well, obviously dealing with that's a pretty high priority. I guess we'll move to here. Well, you know what? Even with this down, I'm not going to be able to get through here without setting off the alarm. Yeah, and I can't teleport while this thing's around. I guess if the dependence moves... Or we could move to here and we could start combat by flicking the impulse. A repelling shock on the impulse will have it explode here and take out the silent thought. And I'm still allowed to do repelling shock. And then that'll leave us with a little bit of AP for other stuff. Yeah, alright. I think that's got to be the plan, unfortunately. So, I could fire it from right here if I'm willing to spend the Awaken. Could do that, then throw down a rod, then Buckler Harvest immediately. Might be important. No, it's probably throw down the rod and then the missile. Yeah, all right. I am going to do this so that I don't have to walk forward. Which I guess means I could... Oh, no, I can't rod first, right? The silence has to get broken. Oh, no, wait a second. It explodes in this square, not that square. I didn't realize. I thought the wall was... okay. That maybe changes the whole plan. The thing is, it's like very frustrating. I cannot get close without access to dash. Oh, that really sucks. I wish I had a sense of how much damage this was going to deal. Because I kind of, like, we could throw it on the spider missile here. Killing the broom. And potentially killing this thing if the painful impulse explodes for 90. And then that gives us a path that we could push along. Try to get over to this in this turn. I mean, we got to make the move at some point, right? I guess I don't have to stand in a spot where I'm going to take damage, though. But I don't want to be any further away. Oh, I leave a foul ground trail too? I did not realize. I guess it does, like I have the effect right here. I should have noted all entities. Yeah, that really weakens any other potential plan. Well, okay, another thing I could do is I could like walk around to here. This might be a better approach. Let me do this. Because I'm thinking we can flick this guy. Oh, or maybe that guy will just move. Okay, all of a sudden they're moving. They weren't for a while. Fuck you. That's so annoying. Alright, well, in turn, I mean... I have to wait for the terrain to not be blocking me. Alright. So, I'm not going to reveal from taking foul ground damage, right? Where do I want to try to set up here? I mean, I guess like I'm going to get in this close and then we're probably not actually going to get to make the choice ourselves. My guess is something's going to move into me. Oh, or maybe just further away. Okay. So... how do I want to do this? If I move down to here... okay, so this thing's totally dormant. I'm wondering about setting the rod right there. I like waking the sleepiness. This is maybe a bad play. But again, just trying to like figure out where do we put the rod for maximum effectiveness. Maybe I move to here and place it there. Or I don't even have to place it there, right? Because I don't necessarily... oh, I can't put it down until we get started anyway. Never mind. So I think I want to be... like, I need to be all the way over here. I keep forgetting. I'm silenced. This is like the whole point. Okay. Oh, I think I got detected because the dependents stepped on a tile where I left garbage or something. I mean, whatever. We were going to reveal this turn anyway. It doesn't actually, like, hurt anything. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. So... Windy Bulwark, Anguish Rod... I guess could go, like, here? I don't necessarily need to shield it anyway, right? And you have 63 HP left, so it's not going to do enough damage to kill you. Okay. A lot of enemies with 5 AP. I'm just thinking, like, if I throw a couple of punches to get this thing up to 4 AP, you'll probably do some good work. Maybe I do want to cast the Ranger. Well, I can't do both. I can't Ranger and another thing. I think I might even just, like, punch and heal. Punch and punch is still not going to be lethal. $13 to $17. So yeah, you have a lot of resistances right now. I guess I need to be dealing as much damage to this thing as possible because of all its resistances. So I guess that's how we're doing it. Okay, the mushrooms are just turning into haze, are they? Ah, they're not destroying, they're becoming invisible. Fair enough. Okay, the poison was lethal. Cool. How dare you? Okay, well, some of the tile effects got cleansed. That's cool. This Doubt Engine also has all of its resistances up. It's annoying. I kind of think I want to do like... I'm hoping that the Ranger is smart enough to not engage with dormant enemies. Alright, then I want to step. God, everything is garbage. There's just garbage effects everywhere. I wanna throw a repelling shock here. So I guess I may as well just flashing arrow. Yeah. Okay, did some decent damage over there. Not as much as I might have liked to everyone. And at this point, the enemies are all at 8. So I should spend the remaining 2 AP I have so that our Ranger at least is at full. I'll just heal myself. Okay, they do die when they spread haze the second time. Interesting. What a weird enemy. Ow. If only I had thorns. Huh. That was weird. We got a little tsunami. I wonder if... I have no idea. I have no idea what that does. Okay, so... Do we know what Daze does? I wonder if Daze is going to be in here. Okay, a number of action points burnt on turn start. So if I step it there, I'm going to lose some AP. Well, I'll tell you. I am sort of hating this foul trail, but I don't really know what to do about it. I don't think... Like, I want to get out of the Ranger's way. I also would really love to be able to throw a buff up, but I just don't. It doesn't seem like it's in the cards. And there's garbage absolutely everywhere. So you need to be able to get within 5 tiles of this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So actually, if I move to here, that should be fine. Yeah, I'll put up some poison, give you enough AP to act. Be able to at least run up here. Okay, they're gonna plant more mushrooms, so we're gonna get continued spread. I see. Ow, okay. Huh. So I think we're going to use either a green or a blue onk here. Reduces cooldowns by 1 and puts you in a random starting position. My cooldowns are pretty fucked right now. I will say that. Let's just use a green one. So it seems like when those mushrooms died, they didn't actually die. They became this enemy. They became dependents. If we kill this thing, we can get rid of the resistance, but then we also have to fight this thing. I mean, it's incredibly grim, right? Like, the number of enemies may as well be infinite if all of the mushrooms that bloomed turned into those things. I'm debating, like, stepping over next to the ranger and throwing up the shield, which would suck. I mean, obviously, I don't want to spend awakening because we're going to need it, almost certainly. Or spend awareness. This is going to be an expensive, attempted survival. I'm just going to move over here. Yeah, wow, he's just like, he's doing no damage. Maybe you do just have to kill the big guy. I want to get rid of this thing, is what I was thinking, but maybe that's not actually viable. Do we have the ability to run away? I don't think there's any point in continuing this. There's no version of this where we win. Well, now that this thing's moved, actually, it has given us an interesting option, hasn't it? Yeah, you know what? Maybe we do go for something then. Bulwark Rod. I'm gonna need the toughness. Repelling shock into there gains us a shifting onk. And now the foul ground effect is gone, but not until after we just covered the ground with 1,000 times more nonsense. And then I'm gonna throw up thorns. And I guess just end turn? Okay, the thorns are doing good work through the invulnerability, or not the invulnerability, but you know what I mean, the massive hit resistance. Yeah, that did some excellent work, actually. All right, a hole. So we are hacking through them now. We're getting somewhere. I'm absolutely going to have to heal, but I guess I'm gonna summon first. And then probably I just stop there for the moment. All these enemies have infinite AP anyway. You're gonna get me and then be able to, yeah, get me and then be able to do a little stockpile. All right, so we got barriers, we got thorns. Okay, that one did not destroy itself completely. Okay. Well, obviously I could just punch you. Seven. Well, I was expecting that to do more damage. I'm not going to lie. He has 17 HP. So if I hit him with this, it will kill him. Then we get a pair of barriers. I mean, I think I'm dead again. Like, the poison's going to do the job. Or actually, the poison won't do the job. The discharge will do the job. And then, like, I absolutely for sure cannot afford to move away from the rod. So I guess I'm going to pass. Alright, get some cleansing. We get some barriers. We get some other stuff. All you can do is move closer to the enemies, sadly. We still have thorns up. So those things will crunch themselves on the barriers. Okay, we are getting through the stack of enemies. We are going to have to reshield. Do I just flick you? I think I probably do. Because you're not really going to take any meaningful damage from anything, but I need, like, time for my heal to come off cooldown. And the heals don't matter, because he was already at full. Okay, you're trying hard, buddy. You're doing something. That's probably just caused a new enemy. You are going to dissipate. Which obviously is not acceptable. I need to move through some clear water. There's no point in attacking you. I would do no damage. Yeah, I think I'm going to run forward, step in some water, and then run back. Even all the way up to here. Alright, so I think these are legitimately the last two enemies we will have to face. Now, I'm not going to get my barrier quickly enough here. But I do have 119 shield, and I'll have the heal. Nope, it wasn't enough to survive. It's fine. We held on to that for a reason. I'm like brute forcing my way through this encounter. Okay, I want to do just enough stuff for one discharge to go off. Because we need the barrier. Oh, is it time? Have you decided that it is time? Alright, well. I wish I'd been consulted on that, but fine. That's fine. We will get it done. The terrain coming up to lock us in here with him is really rough. That sucks a lot. We don't actually know how he attacks. I'm just gonna punch him 3 times, I think. Because we have a pair of discharges. We got guns, we got thorns, like... We're as prepped for battle as we can possibly be. Okay, that was terrifying. What if you went back over there while my cooldowns run out? Okay, so I wasn't expecting him to have enough movement to travel the whole distance. That sucks. All right, we're gonna try to set up over here as best we can. Yeah, I thought I'd be able to keep one tile between me and him. All right, this gets us the barrier, which is really all I need. Hit him with the missiles. Hit us with the buckler harvest. Throw a punch. And you know what? Alleviating breath on myself also. Woof. That was brutal. I'm going to take some tranquility. Let's get back on the waymarked route, shall we? Because that was a nightmare. And here we have an irresistible addiction, I assume. You wish it were just the drugs. What you're addicted to is your demons, your mistakes, your old bad habits. You're addicted to the familiar comfort of your flaws, to the acceptance of your self-inflicted pain. Really, you're addicted to everything. Hinders perception, spawns enemies. Okay, bad news. Have we... Okay, there is a memory in the... There's a couple memories in the room. You gotta be super careful with the memories because of the situation. So what we know about you is that you are ruthless. You have some instability. We did cause that, I suppose. Spreads haze on and around you, inflicts numb. Alright. Well... I mean, it feels like I want to just run over and grab this memory, right? That'll lead the fight away from that memory as much as possible. I could... So we can go up to 4 tiles out. Like, what I could do is I could step forward some and summon. If I do this, then it's 2 steps. Yeah, this works, right? So I'm going to put down... Oh, my summons are all... Right. Everything's all cooldowns. Well, in that case, I kind of don't... I think what I want to do is step over to here and then stop. Huh. Why are you blurring the memory? That makes me worried. You're not just going to run over there and hit that, are you? Now I'm like really concerned, actually. I mean, I can't do anything about it. There's not. I couldn't get over there. If he's going to do that, he's going to do that. I can't stop it. What I can do is drop this, pick this up, then throw you down, then throw down the harvest. You're at 8 already, so whatever. I just move 3 more. Well, I don't want to move 3 more. I want to move 1, I guess. But I definitely want this thing to hit 8, right? Yeah, so I guess what I'm going to do is step like that. So the totem gets... Okay, he's spawning enemies in a haze over there. Alright, so we got some barriers. We're building up our robot friend here. This might have seemed like a weird move because I put the totem down in a place where it can't possibly matter, but this was more about spawning a ranger with all the shields and stuff and trying to get into combat sort of in that way. I mean, do I want to move all the way forward? I kind of want to move all the way forward. I kind of want to just spend 8 points approaching the boss, which is potentially going to get me hit, but like, I am well set up to take a hit right now. All right, start to put the damage on. You didn't really need to stand next to me. I don't think that was important. Okay. So, I am numb and dazed. Yeah, the fact that the dude ran up behind me instead of running to like there, so that the boss could daze both of us simultaneously, feels a little bit unfair. Like, it's absolutely the game just like playing as your enemy against, or playing as your ally but against you. I'm just gonna step over here and get a new barrier. I don't really know what else to do. Okay, so obviously a punch will be sufficient here. Yeah, I don't like... I kill this guy, and then I move toward the center of the room, preparing to cast again, I guess. I don't want to stand adjacent to a haze tile because he's gonna extend the haze. And he's just gonna do that every turn. Like, the whole room's gonna be haze and there's nothing I can do about it. My totem can help some. Alright. So we're gonna go totem, ranger, and then I got an AP. I don't think I want to do anything with it. Although I guess it doesn't... There's no reason not to use it, because the boss is already at 8. Yeah. We can step forward, I suppose. That way we at least give it to our allies. Okay. Boss just one-shot the ranger from full health. Not awesome. Okay, well, for one thing, I guess I'm going to spend a point of awareness on the distant repelling shock, because otherwise I'm not actually able to cast that, and then I can move to here, catch you with the edge of this thing, and then I guess I'm done. I could step back and allow the Windy Bulwark to swing twice, but I don't know that it actually helps here. Yeah, I'd rather it didn't, actually. I'd rather it just stockpile. Yeah, it's a shame this has such a long cooldown. I could, like, really run in there. Right, I could flashing arrow myself over to this free tile and then just, like, throw a lot of punches while he's fragilized. I don't have my barrier up, and I won't for a while, but, like, we gotta do some damage here, right? 2,900 health is a lot to get through. Alright, and unfortunately our totem's just going to kind of sit over there not doing necessarily the most important things. Okay, and I'm dazed, so I don't get to play... Oh, no, hold on. I'm dazed, I'm not numb. I can do stuff. So we know we saw an enemy over here briefly, but I don't know if the boss moved. I guess he must have. So I guess, like, the daze is gonna... I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here. The daze is gonna remove 1 AP at turn start as long as I'm standing in the stuff. Moving through the stuff is not gonna, like, accumulate more of it, I don't think. I think I kind of want to fall back to here. Because we saw something in the haze over there. Yeah, all right. Let's get our own buffs up here. I'm trying to take this, like, pretty safe. Okay, it was the boss. The boss did teleport that distance. Well, this is for sure a better place to fight from. I suppose I set myself up for that. There's no reason to do anything, right? I guess that's pretty powerful as these things go. It's like that's a powerful way to put me in the mechanical headspace to like to reflect the way the addiction makes the patient feel. There's so little reason to do anything. Damn it, I was really hoping not to be dazed this turn. Alright, well... Okay, I'm gonna put you down. I am gonna... buckler, and then I'm just gonna... throw a punch? I don't really want to use this on anyone but the boss, right? I want to keep this off cooldown for the boss. But I do kind of want to throw a punch so that provided the rod doesn't die, it does clear the garbage at the end of the enemy turn cycle. Okay, so you're all the way over there. Now you're all the way over there. Jesus. This thing runs away very effectively. Alright. Clears us a nice little area in which to operate, which I appreciate. I guess it makes the most sense to summon you... Well, no, I can summon you here so you at least get the barrier. And then, like, again, I can use my teleport to cheat around the haze a little bit. Although I guess I don't need to, right? Like, the haze only matters if I actually end my turn in it. I could just move to here. Oh, but I do want to get the barrier. Yeah, I mean, as long as I can't actually, like, do stuff. We may as well let this work. Okay, so we just planted an enemy over there. So I can run through here and take another infect. But I can teleport to a point where... Well, I could teleport to here. I could hit him with the crippling impulse and still get him with the missile as well. Yeah, let's do that. So obviously we want to fragilize first. There we go. We sludged him up real good. You had just enough AP to move yourself out of barrier range, which is not a thing I'm sure you should have done. May as well give him the 8th AP back. There we go. We're getting some damage in. That's doing something. Yeah, the fact that he can one-shot the ranger through any amount of shield or barrier that we put down really sucks. Makes it extremely hard to use my my abilities. I guess just run back here and accept a barrier and wait for stuff to start coming off of cooldown again. Like, I can't meaningfully apply damage myself. But we are definitely going to be saving the Buckler Harvest for the Ranger on this next cycle. Yeah, I may as well. It's nice to have our little area of relative safety in the middle of the room. That's helpful. And I want it back, so I'm going to reestablish it. Now, I cannot... Actually, no, I can get close enough to hit you with the missile, I think. Right? I think this works. Yeah. Okay, we can keep this damage effect rolling at least. Oh, the days. That's annoying. Alright. So I'm putting you up over here in a spot that is nice and safe. Oh, shoot. I didn't put him in a place to get barriered. Well, whatever. It's not like it has mattered at any point so far. I guess I'm going to spend 2 points moving back so that you can at least theoretically shoot. At least, like, he'll deal some damage when he dies this time because he's got the thorns on him. That's something. Alright, clarity is good. Okay, that's actually not that bad. Yeah, no, there's a lot of good things going on there. So I definitely want to move. I want to move enough to spend 5 AP. There we go, because I want you to get both of your shots off. And he's not standing in haze, right? That's a pretty good amount of damage. Like, this fight's taking forever. We're having a really hard time. Okay. That's weird. He looked like he was over here somewhere, but I don't know what just happened. Maybe we hit him? Hard to say. Gonna heal myself and pass, and we'll see what happens. Okay, I was not right about where he was. Gosh, he sure does get to move around a lot. Or maybe they spawned a bunch of fakes, I guess? That must be what it is. Alright, well. So you're about to disappear. I think I'm gonna move to... The rods are not getting destroyed. Right, when they come out, they're pretty hardy. I'm going to be really aggressive with it, actually. Just going to put it down right here. Yeah, you don't get to do anything, and then you explode. It's fine. Okay, I actually did kill it in one hit. Alright, so we're going to buckler harvest, and then we're going to cast this where we know the enemies are. And then I'm going to die. Yeah, the fact that the boss can apparently be invisible, spawn an infinite number of shadow clones, like, it's super hard to tell what's happening because it's all happening under cover of invisibility. I'm gonna pop one of our blue ones. But I think what happened was the boss spawned a bunch of actually completely functional clones, not like fake ghost clones, but clones that actually get to do stuff. While it was in, that was what that like big purple swirl was, while it was in the invisibility, and then it teleported, and also the clones can teleport. And so it's just like you can't see anything ever. And also there may as well be an infinite number of enemies. And also they get to do whatever they want all of the time, and there's nothing you can do about it. It doesn't even really feel like a fight. Okay. So, let's put you down here. I'm going to throw a punch to splat that thing. I'm going to step down here, preserve this so that they can't end the battle that way. And then I think I do still want to save the buckler for when we have the ranger out. So I can move to here and drop the ghastly spider missile. I think one of them is here. I think maybe the other one was like over here somewhere. I probably can't hit them both. Well, that's right. I wanna clear some infect. Oh, I don't actually have any infect. Never mind. But I also want to stay within range of this, obviously. Okay, well, I found something. Is it the real boss? Probably. Could be. Hard to say. Oh, come on. Don't just kill it straight up. Yep, of course they do. Sure, sure, sure. Yeah, I mean, why not? Okay, so... Alright, that makes me able to see this guy. When you attempt to move through them, you get vision of them. 2 punches will clear you out. But then the other one's just gonna run over here. Well, I guess, like... The thing is, there's no getting around it, right? 2 punches will clear this one out. And then the other one's gonna run over here and one-shot one of us, and there's nothing to be done about that. I can at least put up the thorns. Okay, never mind. The boss has an infinite range attack that doesn't have to be in the same like row or column or anything. I keep forgetting. All right. That's that. That sucks. That is not an interesting fight. It's just like it's just a bunch of visual noise and then you take damage. All right, well, we spent some crosses. We got a little bit of reward. We did pull the memories. Yeah, Godspeed, Theodore. You're going to have to find another solution to your problem because I am not fighting an incurable addiction ever again. That's really rough. Like, you would have to, in order to have a chance in that fight, you would have to bring some kind of zero cooldown gust. Area gust spell, right? Because you just have to keep the haze off of the ground entirely. With the boss having the ability to haze any tile at any time and also spread haze from any tile to every adjacent tile at any time. Interesting. Restores up to 2 AP. Plus 1 AP restored on a target that's regenning, plus 1 AP on an invisible target, and excess restored AP is stored as overcharge. I mean, this seems very good. There's a kind of automaton here we haven't seen before. I mean, crafted skill has a minimum cooldown of 4. What I'm doing right now is trying to figure out, like, do I have to buy this? How important is this? 9 discipline weight's not really that expensive, but like, what's the skill with a cooldown of 4 that you want to put this on? I might argue that my summons already have cooldowns that are too long. Setting one of them to 4 feels really rough, because if they die, like, we're in such grim shape. I don't know, it feels like I'm not gonna see another one of these. This feels like quite a rare thing, but maybe I'm wrong. And it does suck that this is the currency that's used for fusion and stuff. So if we do buy this, we'll be down so low on this that we won't be able to mess with our inventory anymore for a while. We'll have to build up all over again. It does seem pretty cool, though. It seems like a pretty handy thing. I don't know. Removing the fact that it can only happen once every 4 turns, I guess, really kind of... Yeah, we'll probably skip it. A 3-2 is interesting. 3-2 with discipline weight 8. That's... I might buy this. You know what? I have time. We'll think about it. Yeah, I'm gonna consider. So there's some rebuilding that we can do. We picked up some stuff. We have a little bit of room under our discipline cap. I guess not a lot, because we didn't succeed on that thing. Yeah, irresistible addiction seems like very difficult to deal with. Yeah, just like range 12. Just unrestricted range 12 attacks while teleporting around in the mist so that they're invisible. Like, this is an incredibly frustrating enemy to fight. There was a thing in the... Was it in the Mind Tree? That... Or maybe it's just an effect of Mark? But I remember seeing on a Mark skill, did we actually pick up any of those marks, or did we just see them and think, hey, that's neat, maybe later? Okay, I didn't actually pick any of them up. I don't remember if it was something we saw in the Mind Tree or if it was just an effect of the Mark skill, but there was something that let your summons continue to attack invisible enemies even if you yourself couldn't see them. And if we could get a mark like that set up, then that would make that enemy a lot more technically fightable. Obviously, there's the problem of it just killing your summons from 12 range while invisible in a way you can't predict or prevent. But once or twice we managed to stick the ranger around for like a couple of turns, right? Yeah, I don't know. That's something to consider. I will look into trying to acquire a marker. We might be able to make one. So tier 2 mark. No, there's no recipe for the basic mark. Tier 2 mark makes Bloodburst 1. Combine Bloodbursts to get Supercharge. Yeah, actually it looks like there is simply no way to generate mark. Well, if I had known that, I might have bought the mark that we saw when we saw it. I guess it's something we'll have to prioritize if we ever see one again, and who knows if we ever will. Yeah, alright. I think that's where we're going to end it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. This one got so long that it might be worth splitting into two. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. When you come back next time, we are going to be looking for patients who do not have irresistible addictions, because it turns out those things are irresistible. You actually can't resist them. Who would have thought? So come back for some more possible missions, and we'll see you then.